Spring Ridge, again, is doing their One School, One Book program, and they are doing a Magic School Bus, Attack of the Plants. Always a fun one. For the middle level, Smart Futures is a K-12 program involving career readiness programming that fully aligns to the stipulations outlined in Pennsylvania Department of Education's Career Education and Workplace Standards. Professional learning for the 25-26 school year is again going to be conducted with Better Lesson. In the middle school, they had an exciting Mission Martinique, which was a cross-curricular experience for students in grade 6. We saw a little kind of demonstration of it. It was a lot of fun. Also in the middle school, they had Field and Stream days, which were wet but still fun. When wasn't it wet this spring? This is a disaster. At the high school, they are working again with Better Lesson in math and science. In the 24-25 school year, they partnered with Better Lesson for math professional learning. That professional learning was paid out of a PDE grant focused on math and science enhancement, and they're going to continue their partnership with Better Lesson next year. The FCS and business departments are both going to purchase books. And we had a lot of contracts this summer, this meeting. SWIS, which is a software program to keep track of elementary behavior, and also Brandywine Virtual Academy are hopefully going to be finalized over the summer month. The existing Better Lesson contract is reaffirmed and currently in review with our solicitor. And we're looking for updates from the Pitt dual enrollment agreement, as well as a new agreement with Millersville and their student nurse practicum, which is a really great opportunity for us. And that is on tonight's agenda. Mossflower is going to continue the professional learning services for the reading and writing projects at the middle and elementary levels. And Ed Insight is slated for renewal as well. Ed Insight is a data blending and warehouse that houses student data and IEP data. And we did have a discussion about, we do have to keep track of a lot of data, and we kind of talked about, like, is there a better way to streamline the data, and who needs this data and who sees the data? And a lot of it is required by PDE and not funded by PDE. So no shock there. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kennedy. I know data is one of your topics. Okay. Mrs. Troutman, do you have a public relations report? Oh, I apologize. I did skip. And yes, Mr. McCray, we definitely need the Finance Committee.
I know it's everybody's favorite topic, finance. I think it gets more exciting. We did meet on Monday, June 2nd at 4:30 in this building and covered a number of topics, and obviously there are a number of items for vote later in the meeting, so I'll just kind of try to stick to the highlights. First of all, our auditors, Herbine & Company, came to discuss audit planning for the current fiscal year, which we're obviously about to wrap up here shortly, and then obviously their audit process will begin, hopefully with a conclusion by the end of the calendar year. We looked at food services budget as on the agenda. A couple key points. Obviously, there'll be continued free breakfast for all students per the guidelines, and the food services recommending a 20% increase in lunch prices for next year. We then reviewed the early learning and childcare fund budget. Moving forward into next year, there will be 5 pre-K counts classrooms and 2 tuition-based classrooms as well. We looked at the final budget for this year and where we're looking to end up as we look to close out the fiscal year. Again, there have been favorable revenue trends. There's also been some favorable trends on the expense side, primarily because, again, of unfilled positions. With all that, it looks like we should roughly be coming in with a deficit of around $600,000. As we may all remember, we originally budgeted for a deficit of $5.9 million. So obviously that's quite a reduction in the deficit, which is good for all of us. And that $600,000 will be covered by our fund balances. Then finally, looking into the final budget for the 25-26 fiscal year, which we're going to be voting on later this evening, there is no really any kind of change to the totals or the millage or anything like that. It really does reflect what was proposed last month as we look to vote later in this meeting. All that being said, we get the summer off, and our next Finance Committee meeting is currently scheduled for Monday, October 6th of 2025. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McCray. Mrs. Troutman.
Well, good evening, everyone. Because Isabel is no longer here, I now have a slide, so there's some images that you can all kind of take a look at. But first, I just wanted to let our community know that the Wilson Education Foundation is going to be offering their summer learning camp program again this year. It is for students currently enrolled in the district entering grades 1 through 5. The purpose of the camp is to offer continued academic support while having fun in the outdoors. Certified Wilson teachers provide the instruction, and the camp runs 2 days a week from June 17th through the 31st. So there are still some limited spots available, and registration is open on the Education Foundation's website, and we've also been promoting it through our district Facebook page as well as the recent Bulldog Blitz. So again, it's a great opportunity for students in our elementary schools to get some additional support over the summer. And then I'm really excited to announce that Samantha Martinez, who's a recent graduate of Wilson High School, she was named the De Mujer a Mujer Young Changemaker Award recipient by Women to Women, the Greater Reading Chamber Alliance's Catalyst for Developing Women Leaders. Huge, huge opportunity for Sam. She's going to be attending UMass Lowell to study business administration with a concentration in marketing. And you probably remember hearing about Sam because she did a lot of things here. She was involved in Latin Pride, Girls United, Mini-Thon, field hockey, and dedicated 6 years to volunteer work with the YVC. So we're super proud of Sam and all of her amazing achievements. And then finally, a lot of those pictures that you can see on the screen sort of summarize just the amazing things that have been happening towards the end of May here at Wilson. So moving up ceremonies, concerts, award nights, performances, we had a retirement celebration, athletic events, just so many things going on here. And the community, as always, showed up in full force, just showing how much they just love our students and our staff here at Wilson. The celebration for the class of 2025 was epic. The week began with our Decision Day Assembly, again, all student-led. We had an unforgettable cap and gown event organized by parent volunteers, completely organized by parent volunteers, with, I think, a record number of attendees. I think over 350 graduates attended that event. We had lots of donations from our community that allowed us to have yet again a wonderful graduation ceremony. We had our parade, we had our fireworks display, and we're still celebrating that the rain held off and we were able to do all of those things. It was just amazing, amazing time. So obviously, all these things make my job as PR director really easy because we have an opportunity to really celebrate just all of the incredible things that go into our vision, creating a place where students love to learn, staff love to work, and the community loves to live. And hopefully you've had an opportunity to check out all of those things on our district social media and other communications channels. It really gives you just a glimpse of just the amazing things that we are all so proud of. It's so great to be a Bulldog. So please stay connected with us on social media and our district website over the summer. We will be continuing to share things that are going on here. And just a little bit of a preview, a couple of things are going to be happening. Our district administration building will be moving over the summer. So I'm going to be giving updates during my report, but we will be doing a full communications program to the community about what that looks like. So again, keep that, kind of keep your eyes open for that so you know kind of how that's going to affect our community and the different departments that are going to be moving. And we also are going to be launching a new website over the summer. So lots of things are going to be happening. So again, please continue to watch all of our district communications channels for all that information. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Troutman. You do make your job look easy, but it is not. And I think a tribute to you and the entire administrative team is how seamlessly the graduation went off. I don't believe the public knows all of the phone calls and the emails and everything that went on behind that they never saw to make it the best night possible. And so thank you all, everybody who was involved in that process, for making it so nice for the students. You know, they and their family just got to come and enjoy it. And they got to enjoy it outside because you all held off and said, we're going to try to make this work so they can have the best experience possible. So I think a great time. Everybody I talked to said how amazing it was, with the only disappointment being Dr. Trickett saying he wished that they had done the longer fireworks, but they didn't because of the weather, and it all worked out. So thank you, everybody in the administration, for all the effort you put in for our students. It's very much appreciated. Any other board members have reports? Okay, Mr. Moravich. Oh, you do? Sorry,
Yes.
Ms. Casper.
Hi, thank you. I have a BCTC report. We met on Wednesday, May 28th at the East Campus, and we started off the evening with their annual student recognition ceremony, where we recognized over 30 students from BCTC who were awarded both locally and statewide for their hard work in their programs this past spring. On Tuesday, May 27th, the day before, BCTC also recognized the achievements of 650 seniors during its annual senior recognition ceremony, which held in honor of the class of 2025. The event celebrated students who have successfully completed their program of study across a wide range of technical and career fields. Each student was honored for their hard work, dedication, and accomplishments, many earning industry-recognized certifications that will open doors to careers and continued education. BCTC students in the Heavy Equipment Operations program had a hands-on opportunity thanks to Nuber, who brought out a brand new Volvo 300 to the quarry for students to operate. The experience focused on the demolition side of heavy equipment operations, offering students a closer look at industry applications. With the support of 4 Nuber employees, students had the chance to work with a variety of powerful attachments, including a grapple, a concrete processor, and a shear. These are all tools that are common in the demolition work, something I'm not familiar with, but huge machines. In addition, Nuber once again provided their articulated dump truck to the program for use throughout the entire school year, marking the second consecutive year for this generous support. Their continued partnership gives students valuable real-world experience that builds confidence and career readiness. Some dates to remember for BCTC: June 16th through the 20th is their career camp at the East Campus. So any students from the Wilson District or any of the 16 sending districts who are currently in grades 6 through 8th are invited to participate in their unique experience during the camp, which focuses on fun, creativity, and hands-on activities. On June 18th through the 20th is the HOSA National Leadership Conference in Dallas, Texas. This is for the healthcare occupations programs. This conference is an opportunity for members to learn more, to learn from and share with their fellow HOSA members from across the state of Pennsylvania. It's a time when secondary and post-secondary collegiate members gather to network, learn, compete, and have fun. And then finally, June 23rd through the 27th is the Skills USA National Leadership Skills Conference in Atlanta, Georgia. And I know there's some students going to compete, who qualified to compete from BCTC. I didn't get the exact number. But at Atlanta, there'll be over 6,500 outstanding career and technical education students, all state winners, will compete hands-on in 107 different trade, technical, and leadership fields. Students work against the clock and each other, proving their expertise in occupations like electronics, computer-aided drafting, precision machining, medical assisting, and culinary arts. Contests are run with the help of industry, trade associations, and labor organizations, and test competencies are set by industry. Leadership contestants will demonstrate skills including extemporaneous speaking and conducting meetings by parliamentary procedure. And then finally, our June meeting for BCTC is scheduled for the 25th of this month, which I unfortunately will not be in attendance. I'll be on vacation, so hopefully President Cocker, my alternate, will be able to attend in my absence. And that's my report.
Thank you, Mrs. Casper. Any other reports? Okay. Mr. Maravich, do you have any reports? Okay. 4.1, Mr. McCray?
Yes, motion to approve the payment of bills as presented from the general fund, $3,145,314.08.
Thank you. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second, McCree.
Thank you, Mr. McCree. Any discussion? Okay, this is a roll call.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny.
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no.
Okay, motion carries. 5.1, motion to approve the 2025-2026 general fund budget, providing for expenditures of $154,800,000 with tax on real estate of 31.8 mils. 5.2, request approval of the annual tax levy resolution for the 2025-26 fiscal year as presented. Item 5.3, request approval of the homestead and farmstead exclusion resolution for the 2025-2026 fiscal year as presented. Item 5.4, request approval to transfer $1.5 million from the general fund to the capital reserve fund as budgeted for the 2024-2025 fiscal year. Item 5.5, request approval of the 2025-26 capital projects plan totaling $3.9 million funded with capital reserve funds as attached. Item 5.6, request approval of the 2025-2026 liability, workers' compensation, and student accident insurance premiums totaling $1,124,366 as recommended by the district's insurance broker, Tompkins Insurance. Item 5.7, request approval of the York Adams Tax Bureau agreement for services and software lease agreement for mercantile business privilege tax collection as attached. Item 5.8, request approval to award the science supplies bid as presented. Looking for a motion to approve finance items numbers 5.1 to 5.8.
So moved, McCray.
Thank you, Mr. McCray. We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second, McCree.
Thank you, Mr. McCree. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. This is a roll call vote.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yeah.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny.
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no.
Motion carries. Request permission, item 5.10, request permission to receive the nomination of board treasurer for July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026, the nomination being Mr. Sean McCray. Do we have any other nominations? Hearing none, we don't need to vote on this, correct? Roll call, yes, sorry, roll call. It's nominated, we don't need a motion, yes, okay. So do we have, okay, so can we get a motion for 5.10? A second.
So moved.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. McCray. And roll call. Well, now, no, okay.
So I believe that that's an error. So what should happen is that we receive the nominations. We'll go into 511, where we'll do a voice vote of the, to go into elections of Mr. McCray. And then 5.12 will be the roll call of the individual votes. So I think that is just an error because the category as finance is a roll call as a whole. And so that's misleading. So my apologies. And I believe that's why we have like the parentheses at the end that just says receive nominations, because these votes are just a little different than the whole category as finance.
I think it's right on there, and I think you were right, and I think I was wrong. So you just need to move the 511 and then move that one, because that's the one with his nomination.
Okay. So 511, request approval to hold elections for board treasurer for the July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026 term, with Mr. McCray being the nominee, and a voice vote. So all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
And one abstention.
And one abstention. The vote passes, so congratulations. Now we're going to go to 5.12 and request permission to set the board treasurer's salary at $0 for the term of July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2026.
It just gets better and better.
And this is a roll call.
I think we will need motions for this.
Okay. If I could get a motion for 5.12.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. McCree. Do we have a second?
Schneider, second.
Thank you, Mr. Schneider. Any discussion? Other than that, 0 is such a nice salary. Okay, roll call, please.
Okay. Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Abstain.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mr. Hart,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny.
Yes.
6 yes, 1 abstain.
Okay, motion carries. Congratulations. Okay, superintendent's report. Dr.
Excuse me,
Trickett.
Madam President, fellow board members, I will be logging off for the rest of the meeting. So thank you.
Thank you,
And one
Mr. Hart.
comment- You're welcome. One comment, graduation ceremony was outstanding. Well done by all involved and the volunteers and administration, teachers, staff, and everyone involved in it. Really pulled off a great night, and I didn't feel any raindrops until we stood up at the very end. So very successful planning. You took a risk and it paid off. So thank you and have a good night.
Thank you, Mr. Hart. Dr. Trickett?
Thank you, Vice President Denny. Again, this evening, I have the privilege of presenting items 6.1 through 6.7, and also then 6.9. You're going to see, first off the bat, Mrs. Borelli, a longtime Wilson employee. I was just doing some math here. I think I am correct that she started at Wilson at the age of 18. So she's been here for more than 40 years. Obviously, it has positively impacted our district in so many different ways, in so many different buildings, and just thankful to her for all that she's done and her commitment to our school district and our community as she's done so long. She lives in the district. Her children went to Wilson. So thank you, Karen. She was a later retiree, was not included in our one that we had with our large group a few board meetings ago. We have quite a few resignations and end of services as well this evening. Some, again, great people are leaving the organization for a variety of different reasons, to pursue other career pathways, as well as just to move on into different opportunities in their lives. Child rearing leave, Change of status, again, quite a bit on here. Retention bonuses, safety bonuses for our drivers. Under the third attachment, you'll see some folks who are on our team currently. That's what this particular attachment refers to. However, are shifting in roles. We're possibly taking on additional responsibilities. And lead learners are on here, Emily, Rachel, and Scott. We have Mandy Torres. Give us a wave, Mandy. Is shifting in her role from special ed facilitator to special ed supervisor, and a very well-respected member of our team, and wish you the very best as you transition and working with your teammates and colleagues into this new role to support teachers and kids in a different way. And then just a variety of other summer employment and extracurricular positions as well. So looking now for 6.1 to 6.7.
Thank you. I'm looking for a motion to approve items 6.1 to 6.7. Dr. Kennedy, thank you. Do I have a second?
Casper?
Thank you, Mrs. Casper. Any discussion? Hearing none, this is a roll call.
Mr. McCree?
Yes.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Casper?
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. McCray?
Yes.
Mrs. Denny?
Yes.
6 yes, 0 no.
Motion carries. And item 6.9, looking for a motion to approve the support staff hires as presented.
Mr. Schneider, so moved.
Thank you, Mr. Schneider. Do we have a second?
Casper?
Thank you, Mrs. Casper. Is there any discussion? Okay, this is a roll call.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Casper?
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy?
Abstain.
Mr. McCray?
Yes.
Mr. McCree?
Yes.
Mrs. Denny?
Yes.
5 yes, 1 abstain.
Okay, motion carries. Item 7.1, request to approve the agreement with an employee as presented. 7.2, request to approve the attached renewal for an employee assistance program with Family Guidance Center. 7.3, request to approve the attached agreement with OCA Benefit Service as the district's Flex 125 provider, pending solicitor review. Item 7.4, looking for a motion to approve human resource items 7.1 to 7.3.
Casper?
Thank you, Mrs. Casper. Do we have a second?
McCray.
McCree.
Thank you, Mr.
I'll concede.
Thank you, I think Mr. McCray was first. Dr. Trickett, before we vote on this, did you want to discuss anything in here?
In regards to 7.1, that's just an agreement that we're bringing forth for the board's consideration to waive some terms of the employment agreement to allow that person to transition onto their next career path.
Thank you, Dr. Trickett. Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none, this is a roll call.
Dr. Kennedy?
Yes.
Mr. McCray?
Yes.
Mr. McCree?
Yes.
Mr. Schneider?
Yes.
Mrs. Casper?
Yes.
Mrs. Denny?
Yes.
6 yes, 0 no.
Motion carries. Thank you. A request to accept with gratitude the donations as presented. A grant from the Berks County Community Foundation Idea Fund in the amount of $600 for summer tutoring. A donation of $6,000 from Southern PTO for Field Day. A donation from Wilson Girls Lacrosse parents and supporters in the amount of $1,434.01 to cover the cost of a charter bus for the team's trip to New Oxford High School for the District 3 playoff games. Looking for a motion for item 8.1.
Schneider.
Thank you, Mr. Schneider. Is there a second? Dr. Kennedy, thank you. This is a voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? The ayes have it. Motion carries. Item 9.1, request to approve the renewal of a service agreement and addendum between the Wilson School District and Therapy Source for certified school psychology services for the 2025-26 school year, beginning July 1st, 2025, and ending June 4th, 2026, pending solicitor review and approval. Item 9.2, request permission to waive tuition as per Board Policy Number 202, eligibility of non-resident students. Item 9.3, request permission to renew a contract with Capstone Academy for 2 special education students for 2025-26 regular school year services, beginning September 2nd, 2025, and ending June 11th, 2026. Item 9.4, request approval of the athletic and school medical program agreement for the 2025-26 school year as attached. Item 9.5, request permission to renew a service agreement with John Paul II for 2 special education students beginning August 25th, 2025, and ending June 5th, 2026, pending solicitor review and approval. Looking for a motion for items 9.1 to 9.5.
Schneider, so moved.
Thank you, Mr. Schneider. And Dr. Kennedy, are you our second? Thank you. Any discussion? Okay, this is a roll call vote.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny.
Yes.
6 yes, 0 no.
Motion carries. Item 10.1, request approval of proposal for Skyward Student Migration Services to Skyward Cumulative Student Management Suite, including secure cloud computing services. Do we have a motion for item 10.1?
McCray.
Thank you, Mr. McCray. Do we have a second?
Second, McCree.
Thank you, Mr. McCray. Any discussion? Okay, this is a roll call.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny.
Yes.
6 yes, 0 no.
Motion carries. Get to do a lot of talking this meeting. Item 11.1, request permission to renew a service contract with GenServe for annual generator maintenance agreement at a cost of $5,545. Item 11.2, request approval for adding additional speakers to the existing administration building as part of the conversion to classrooms using CM3 Building Solutions as the contractor in the amount of $27,183.75 using CoStars. Item 11.3, request approval for the installation of wall-mounted speakers at the high school using CM3 Building Solutions in the amount of $11,767. Item 11.4, request approval to replace defective items on the HVAC unit serving the operations building by CM3 Building Solutions in the amount of $4,595. Item 11.5, request approval for the replacement of HVAC compressor at Berkshire Heights using CM3 Building Solutions as the contractor in the amount of $10,450. Item 11.6, request approval to renew a 1-year service agreement with CM3 Building Solutions effective July 1st, 2025 in the amount of $35,932. Item 11.7, request approval for construction services of the concrete steps located at the high school tennis courts using the contractor Forino at a total cost of $10,990. Item 11.8, request approval to award a contract for the purchase of paper district-wide through Berks County Joint Purchasing, BCIU bid, for the period of July 1st, 2025 through December 31st, 2025, in the amount of $29,318.40. Item 11.9, Request approval of asphalt work at the lower house using R&F excavating in the amount of $11,900. Item 11.10, request approval of change order for high school tech ed project by CM3 Building Solutions due to additional code requirements per township code official. Item 11.11, request approval of asphalt work of 4 catch basins using R&F excavating in the amount of $8,000, $2,000 each. Parentheses, yes, okay. 11.12, request approval of E.R. Stubner change order number 25 for the high school performing arts construction project in the amount of $2,413.95. Request item 11.13, request approval of E.R. Stubner change order number 26 for high school performing arts construction project in the amount of $23,000. Looking for a motion to approve operation items 11.1 to 11.13.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. McCree. Do we have a second?
Schneider.
Thank you, Mr. Schneider. Any discussion? I would just note that all of these operations items all involve capital reserve funds that have already been approved. And so this is just a matter of putting everything on the record. Okay, and this is a roll call vote.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny.
Yes,
6 yes, 0 no.
thank you. Motion carries. Teaching and learning, item 12.1, request approval of the attached affiliation agreement with Millersville University to provide an education experience for students enrolled in the Bachelor's of Science in Nursing program and/or Master's of Science in Nursing program, pending solicitor review and approval. Item 12.2, request approval to renew a contract with Booster Enterprises, Inc. to provide fundraising services in October and November 2025 to the Cornwall Terrace Elementary School. Item 12.3, request approval of a contract with On Hand Schools for a data blending program and services, July 1st, 2025 to June 30th, 2028, pending solicitor review and approval. Looking for a motion to approve teaching and learning items 12.1 to 12.3. Thank you, Dr. Kennedy. Is there a second?
Schneider.
Thank you, Mr. Schneider. This is a roll call.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny.
Yes.
6 yes, 0 no.
Thank you. Motion carries. Item 13, food service. Item 13.1, request approval for meal prices for the 2025-26 school year with a 20-cent increase to meal prices as presented. Item 13.2, request approval of the 2025-2026 food service budget as attached. Looking for a motion to approve food service items 13.1 and 13.2.
McCray.
Thank you, Mr. McCray, and Dr. Kennedy is a second. Is there any discussion? I would just, this was already mentioned by Mr. McCray, but breakfast will continue to be free. This price increase is just going to be for second breakfasts, for children that do second breakfasts, and for lunches. And that is per the Pennsylvania code. So I think that's wonderful. Hungry children cannot learn. I wish our legislature would also have free lunches, but that's something we can hope for the future. Wilson has a surprising number of families facing food insecurity, despite what might appear to be a relatively prosperous district. A lot of children that don't have enough food. So any other discussion? No? This is a roll call vote.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny.
Yes.
6 yes, 0 no.
Thank you. Motion carries. 14, early learning. Request approval of the 2025-26 Wilson Preschool Child Care Tuition-Based Budget. Looking for a motion to approve 14.1. Thank you, Dr. Kennedy. Is there a second?
Second, McCree.
Thank you, Mr. McCree. Any discussion? So roll call.
Mr. Schneider,
Yes.
Mrs. Casper,
Yes.
Dr. Kennedy,
Yes.
Mr. McCray,
Yes.
Mr. McCree,
Yes.
Mrs. Denny.
Yes.
6 yes, 0 no.
Motion carries. Thank you. Any other business? Do we have any public participation in non-agenda items? No? Any other business?
Vice President
Yes,
Denny.
Mrs. Casper.
Yes. So as promised for my students, I wanted to update the district on the partnership with the Literacy Council and how we wrapped up this past year with our adult English learners in the district. So this year marked the Wilson's 6th year partnered with the Literacy Council of Reading and Berks to support our community's rapidly growing adult English and multilingual learners. I am so proud to be a part of this unique partnership and get the opportunity to work with our amazing population of newcomers in the Wilson School District as their English instructor. This year, I had a total of 32 students enrolled in my adult EL class from the Wilson community, and about 20 of those students either had children, grandchildren, or extended family enrolled at Wilson as K-12 students. Most of Wilson's adult English learners come from a wide range of linguistic proficiencies and educational and career preparation. Many of my students have advanced degrees and special training from their countries of origin in areas like information technology and entrepreneurship. It's always striking to me how incredibly eager and their immense desire to integrate into our local community is. Many of them have a desire to continue their education, to advance in the workforce locally, to become citizens, lots of desire to really rapidly become part of the fabric of our community. One of the things most of my students claim is a barrier for them is English. Although I often don't see that as the main sort of problem for my students. In fact, I often see it the other way around, where there are barriers that our communities kind of set for not allowing them to integrate as much. So I often imagine the incredible contribution that many of our students can make to the local economies, both by becoming more proficient in English, but also by bringing in their own contributions, their own languages to our community's workforce and our educational repertoires. This partnership continues to be only one of 4 in Berks County and provides a rich resource for the district, including ongoing academic support of Wilson's K-12 English and multilingual learners and their families. I have witnessed personally some of my adult ELs go on to start their own businesses, enroll in local universities, gain their citizenship, and become involved parents in the Wilson community. The Literacy Council offers an array of courses and services, such as free ESL classes, citizenship classes, digital literacy classes, GED preparation and testing, one-on-one tutoring, community healthcare worker and corporate training programs, as well as offering English forward training and certification for anyone interested in teaching adult English. We also offer internships to local school districts and college students. I think it's also worth noting that Berks County is one of the key areas in Pennsylvania requiring adult literacy services, ranking third after Philadelphia and Pittsburgh. Our local literacy council is fortunate to have strong and established partnerships with organizations such as the Wilson School District that collaborate with us to provide adult literacy services. Our population here continues to grow, and our waiting list at the Literacy Council of individuals seeking the services also continues to grow. So we know that this is a much-needed resource in our area, and we're grateful to have partners like Wilson. Many of these services are made possible also by Governor Shapiro's inaugural budget, which builds on Pennsylvania's commitment to creating prosperous pathways for all learners across the Commonwealth, as the governor invested a $3.8 million increase during his administration for adult and family literacy. This funding boost has supported various adult education initiatives, including initiatives for English language learners and career and technical education. Many folks today blame our newcomers and immigrants for dragging down wages and displacing our native workers. The scapegoating of one of America's most vulnerable populations is actually an old American tradition, and this country has been doing it since the 1800s. When my family first arrived in Berks County, there were a handful of foreign-born people living here. Today, 1 in 8 Berks Countyans is foreign-born. U.S. immigrants today have some of the highest rates of economic mobility, and this is especially true for their children or the children of immigrants, like myself, and many of whom we serve in the Wilson District. It has been full circle for me, as I remember being a student at Muhlenberg High School and meeting my mom in her classroom after practice as she took English classes through the Literacy Council's then partnership with the Muhlenberg School District. And here I am today teaching in a very similar partnership. Unfortunately, the 2026 proposed skinny budget calls for the complete elimination of federal funding for adult education, putting millions of learners and the programs that serve them at risk, including our own local literacy council and those served in the Wilson community, many of which are families to our students. While this proposal is unlikely to pass as it's written, it does represent a significant threat to what we do here in Wilson and a derailment of all our past and current investments. It's important to note that more than 75% of local programs depend on federal funding to help adults improve literacy, earn credentials, and transform their lives. These are not just programs. They are lifelines for millions of learners who work tirelessly to support their families, strengthen their communities, and create a positive future for all. Having worked in educational partnerships myself for over 20 years, I understand the value of partnerships like the one we have here between the Wilson community and the Literacy Council of Berks, especially when our resources are limited. So in spite of this threat, I know the newcomer population here at Wilson feels safe here, as we have made it a tradition to invest in these types of partnerships to make our district a place where everyone loves to learn, work, and live. I want to first of all thank the second shift custodial staff at Southern for their continued support and hospitality during our classes this past year. And of course, Mrs. Line for continuing to share her classroom at Southern. Thank you also to Dean Damiani and his administrative team for their continued support and allowing us to use the space at Southern Middle School. And of course, our entire leadership team here at Wilson, thank you for your support and for this continued partnership. Finally, I want to send a special thank you to Mr. Marquez. Mr. Marquez this year taught me how to use, it's an extension of ChatGPT. It's an AI buddy that actually you can have conversations with and practice in a different language. He taught me how to use this app this year so that I could show my students, since during the summer, it's a real limited time period for them to actually practice English. So I wanted to teach them how to use this on their phone so they have this like constant companion that they could practice English with. So Mr. Marquez took some time out of his day, and I came to the high school and he showed me how to use the app. I use it now myself to try to learn French. And I just wanted to thank him. I did finally show my students, although it was incredibly chaotic in my classroom where we had all kinds of, I didn't know who was talking at times. It was just really chaotic. My students loved the fact that they now can have a piece of technology and they can take that with them without having to come to class all the time and use it on their phones. So even classes after when I taught them, they would come and they would be talking to their phone. So thank you, Mr. Marquez. I look forward to continuing to explore with this district, with the Literacy Council, with any other partners, how we can continue partnerships like this and keep them thriving and leverage them to enhance Wilson's success. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Casper. I appreciate that report.
I have a question for Mrs. Casper. So when you say you have 32 students, can you tell about how many different home languages are you talking about, and what are your most popular ones?
Yes. So, and I think I reported this in the past. The fastest growing language, non-English language, is Creole, Haitian Creole, or French Creole, and French. Creole is very different from French, so a lot of my students from the western parts of Africa who speak French, so that French dialect is one of our faster growing dialects of French. And then French Creole, predominantly from Haiti. So those two languages are the fastest growing. The largest and the most popular, obviously, is Spanish of the non-English languages. But I also have Russian students. I have Arabic speaking students. I know there's a number of languages that are non-English in the Wilson district that are represented, and it's quite a few. But those are the most popular ones. So, and that's not just Wilson. I know I don't speak for other districts, but I do work with other instructors from around the county who say that they also have been seeing the same sort of trend in terms of languages that are represented locally. In fact, this past year, I worked with our local, my Penn State Berks librarian to actually map out the different languages in the area. It was an incredible task. I mean, we literally had like 7 different statisticians working with us to kind of, because you can't really document a lot of the population. So we had to go on, different areas of how demographics are counted in Pennsylvania. And so we did create a map, and that was actually for a different initiative where we want to offer more classes like this, but we need to know where the need is. And it's hard to find where the need is all the time and where the languages, what languages are being represented in those areas as well. So that's a good question.
Do you have something, Mr. Schmidt? No? Thank you for that, Mrs. Casper. I had a chance to go to the English learning classroom here at the high school, and for some reason, I think 14 languages is what stands out. I was looking to see, because I thought I wrote it down, but that they have more like 40? Yeah, I think it's. Okay. Across the district. Yes, it was, they had the list of all the different languages up on the board, and it was, and I think maybe with all the different dialects, it was really impressive to me how many languages and that you must be dealing with, so thank you. Okay, if we have nothing else, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn.
Schneider, so moved.
Thank you, Mr. Schneider.